But then the question is, okay, well, what do you say after that script? And that's where I think a lot of the confusion happens if you're not using the creativity or you don't have the experience. And so I always like to immediately use trigger words that give me immediate rapport with prospect. Because without rapport, you're not going to have further attention. You're not going to be likable. You're not going to get that trust from them, right? So these trigger words are like, hey Jim, the house on Myford, right? So that's a trigger word. That's their address, right? This is your primary residence, right? Yes. Okay, great. So a lot of homeowners in Orange County, another trigger word, right? Because it makes me feel like I'm right there with them. People like to do what a community does, right? So a lot of homeowners in Orange County actually prefer New American Funding because we're very transparent. As a matter of fact, the reason why I'm not even going to complete this call if I can't help you is because I need to point you in the right direction, and I wouldn't be able to give you, just any numbers just to give you numbers, right? We don't operate that way. We're a servicer, meaning that we don't sell off our loans. So let me ask you a few basic questions. Let me know if I can complete the call. Outside of the mortgage, Jim, what other debts do you have? Let's start off with revolving debt. So they're going to go with credit card debt.
Yeah, credit card.
So let's say if you come across a prospect who says, I don't got any credit card debt. Good, now I know what direction to kind of point this phone conversation to, right? So then you pivot. And what you're doing by pivoting is you're looking for what's called bridge questions. And so if someone said, I have no credit card debt, I'm gonna pivot in the direction of saying, awesome. You're one of the rare few in the US, congratulations. With the intent of this house, are you looking to pay it off as soon as possible? Because there's no other debt, right? So you must have a good amount of savings. And so now I'm gonna pivot and talk about paying the house off, or is this kind of a short-term play and you plan to buy another house in the future? If he says, I got 30 grand in credit card debt, I'm gonna pivot in the direction and say, okay, with regards to your payments, how much are you sending? Rough estimate's okay. Now, this question does a few things. Number one is it lets you know who you're talking to, right? Whether you're talking to because you're in any pitch, you should never pitch just one party. Usually households, especially if they're married, has what's called a decision maker and a decision influencer. And typically, you're always talking to the decision influencer. And the decision influencer is typically the one who doesn't necessarily make the income, right? Whereas the decision maker is the one who actually makes the income. So if the final yes has to come from that person. So if you're you have to identify who that person is, and they'll tell you things like, I think we pay, right? And so right when you hear we, you know not to talk numbers until you get both people on the phone. If they say, I think, then that person he's not emotionally tied to that number. So you could try to sell him all day, but he's not gonna really feel it. And that's what he was talking about, like emotion. People buy with emotion, right? So you wanna make sure you at least capture as much information, because when you do get that other party on the phone, you need to reframe them before you pitch them.